Good morning, team, and welcome back. It's Friday! Final day in our not handstands, that was last week.
Core.
We're on core this week.
It's too delirious of it all.
I'm David from CrossFit Cirencester, aka Coach Disco. I can't remember anything today.
And I'm Anna, and thank you for joining us. Like David said, this is the final day of our core week. So today we've got some new skills to challenge you, which are really core orientated, but also incorporate some of the handstand stuff you learned last week. And then plus we have our retest, Annie, to see if you've improved over the week.
Benchmark test, Annie.
And then not just Annie though, we do have a little workout for you as well, if you do finish it.
So those again, for the ones who are finishing Annie pretty quickly, you guys will have a bonus workout to finish up with.
Yes.
To make sure you have
Don't get to
10 minutes of quality stuff.
Yeah.
And our quote today, really simple one today.
Do you remember it?
Simply, just be gentle with yourself.
Nice.
We're going to start the session off with the warm-up.
Yep.
So it's a bit of jumping jacks to begin with. We're going
Yep.
to start with 20 reps, team. 20 reps to begin with. Jumping jacks. And there goes the floppy hair again. It has been a journey of how quickly my hair has grown, how much is currently going in my eyes. And we go from front to back, exactly the same thing, working through a different plane of motion.
Just 10?
Well done. We're going to take one knee. I'm going to tap the ground with the opposite elbow. And then rotate. After 5, I'm going to switch legs, exactly the same thing on the other side. So hope you're not feeling too sore after yesterday, or too sore from Monday's Annie. Maybe your calves a little bit from the penguins.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably abs from the sit-ups, possibly.
Yeah.
Bit of work for the shoulders. Our Shakiras. Walking through 180 degrees at the shoulders. Mr. Miyagi waxed on. Small circles. We're going to get larger and larger and larger. So you have 10 brushing past the ears. And then we change direction, 10 going forwards. Some shoulder taps. Give yourself a hug. We've got one more for the upper body, and we'll focus a bit more on the trunk and the lower body. Up and back, down and back. So take a wider base. These are speed skaters. We're going to transition from left to right. 20 reps. You can gradually build up the speed as you feel more comfortable. So we get stretch to the chest, through the abdominals, and through those adductors, muscles that bring your feet together. Cossacks. So Cossack stretch, you're going to turn one toe up towards the ceiling. I'm going to squat on the other side. Keith Lemons. And again, as always, work to a depth that feels safe for you. You might not go quite as low as we're going.
Okay, I'll let you do the walkout so you have a bit more room.
So I'm just going to straightforward walk out on the floor. Walk out on my hands. Find my front support. Walk back in.
So as you can see, David's got quite a wide base on this one, so it's
Take it a little bit
different.
wider between reps.
Different from our normal version. So you're going to challenge that as much as you can today.
This will definitely help when we start doing our skill today.
Absolutely. So I want to do about 5 repetitions of those at a good range for you.
That's it, I think.
Yeah, but maybe stay there in case you get stuck, David. Brilliant.
And then we're going to quickly just grab hold of our own shoes. Bottom down, bottom up. Bottom down, bottom up. We're doing 5 reps. we'll flip-flop the knees, and then we'll finish up with some arabesques. Flip-flop those knees.
So this is just internally and externally rotating the femur, which is really good for it, especially for when you're squatting or any kind of motion like that.
Your femur's the long thigh bone.
Arabesque.
Arabesques. So we're reaching towards the floor, other leg comes out behind.
So you want to try and do this under control. Even though we're going all the way to the floor and using our arms to support us, we're still doing this under control.
This again will help with our skills in a minute.
Okay, brilliant.
Right, so our skills
Yeah.
today, we're going to teach you something called a pull to a handstand. This is quite a challenging exercise. So some of you will need to have someone there as a spotter just in case. That's what I'm going to do for Anna today. Or you can utilise a wall and your shoulders will be against the wall. It's really important you do this safely today because this is quite challenging. I think most of you today will only pull part way up to a half of a handstand, so feet level the hips.
Yeah.
If you're proficient at handstands already, then obviously you can go all the way up if you want to.
Yep, and just like David said, please, please, please use a wall if you have access to one, if you are not sure how to do this skill or what it requires quite yet. We'd rather you be safe and then move away from the wall.
So I'm going to start off with the base, which is literally the tripod we talked about before in our sessions. The tripod's where you balance between your head and your hands on the floor. So Anna's going to find the base for her hands. She's going to rest pretty much on a hairline and very, very slowly walk her knees towards her chest. So that's our first point. And then from there, she's going to pop one knee on an elbow and the second one, and she's then balanced between her head and her hands. Down to the floor. So if you guys take a moment, you'll do it in time with me, so we get to practice together. I know that you're all able to move on at the same speed.
So just finding the triangle base and slowly seeing if you can pop your knee onto your elbow. That is the starting point. So again, use a wall or a spotter to help you if you're unsure about your balance.
And obviously, if you can't do that, don't try the next stuff because you will definitely fall over.
Just keep practicing
the tripods
throughout this movement.
Okay, so the next piece for us is to go into a tuck. So Anna's going to hit a tripod again, but this time she's not going to quite pop her at the knees on her elbows. She's going to walk her knees to her chest and just pull, so she's using her lower back and her butt to pull her feet off the ground. Touch the floor, and that's as simple as it gets. So let's show them one more.
Yeah.
Hands on the floor, tripod, into a tuck, so knees on chest, and lifting feet off the ground.
So you're just getting nice and tight and compact as you can. So have a practice now along with David. Again, if you haven't mastered the first tripod skill with your knees on your elbows, keep practicing that before you go into the tuck.
So this is a movement to make a pull, is we're using our hands, we're pushing to the ground. It's not a jump up to a tuck, it's a pull, so you're pulling your knees off the ground or feet off the ground.
So these abdominals we've been training all week are very, very essential for this movement.
So we're going to move to step 2, the straddle. So straddle, taking a wide base for your feet. So Anna again is going to take her tripod, the base of her tripod, and this time she's pulling her feet off the floor with a wide base. So she's gone all the way up to a full headstand this time. Again, we don't recommend you try this unless you're fairly proficient in a headstand already.
Is it?
So again, Anna's going to show us again.
So
Hands on the floor.
pulling with
Wide base of the feet.
here.
She pushes hard to the
Drag
hands.
up. So stay here
Yep, that's nice and safe.
and then down. So I'm dragging, pulling with my abdominal muscles and my hamstrings and quads, not jumping. So we're building that core strength. Well done. But again, remember stage 1 first, the tripod, then stage 2, the tuck, before you move to the straddle.
So if
more.
you successfully complete the straddle, again, remember it's just a touch and pull up. It's not a jump up. If you're jumping up, that's a totally separate exercise. We can try the hardest version, which is the pike. So the pike is the hardest because you've got the longest levers. So Anna's going to go for the full headstand. You guys are probably going to go to halfway because we're focusing on the touch. So Anna's just going to kiss the ground with the toes. And pull herself up again.
Now, you do not have to go all the way up. You can just work halfway and focusing on pulling with the abdominals, not jumping up with the abdominals. So have a practice now. So the best way to describe this is you have to keep all of this nice and tight. It's creating that tension.
It's all about control.
Yes, absolutely.
The lighter you can touch the ground with those feet, the more proficient you are at that movement. We don't want to hear feet slamming to the ground and having to jump up again, because that's totally against the point of this exercise. It's the control is the key to that movement.
Absolutely. So again, you've got a lot of stages to practice. The basic tripod, the tuck, the straddle, and then into the pike position. All incorporating the strength from your core to stabilize you in that position.
So it's your butt and lower back basically pulling you up, combined with that press through the ground. You've got to really press hard to the floor. It's like controlling, playing the piano at the same time as lifting yourself into a headstand.
But hopefully you've got some skills now to take with you over the next few weeks and practice.
So, retest time, team. We can't delay anymore.
We can't. So, like on Monday, you will have a 10-minute window to work through Annie, which is 50 penguins, 50 sit-ups, 40, 40, 30, 30, 20, 20, 10, 10. Now, if you finish it, we have a new ladder for you to complete today. So we have a new move to show you.
Dumbbells.
Dumbbells?
There they are.
There they are.
Camouflage.
Yeah. So, it is called a man maker. So you're going to go into a front support. Now, if you only have water bottles, do not lean on the water bottles. Pop your hands on the floor. Into a single arm row one side, single arm row the other side. Going to jump up into a front loaded squat position. So going into that clean and then into the press. So if David does a fast one for you. So row, row, hop up, clean, into press. So it's quite a complex movement. So if you haven't got dumbbells and you're using water bottles and cans, the only difference is on the floor, you'll have your hands on the floor, then pull the bottle, or like David said, you can tap. So, as it's a ladder, we're performing 2 to start with.
2 reps.
And then we do have another movement. What are we going into today? Oh, the toe touches.
Toe touches, yep.
Yeah, you want to show the toe touch?
So front support again, up into your pike, tap the toe, front support, tap the toe. We don't want to see you doing this. We want to see you doing that full range of motion.
So again, it's going to go up in 2. So you would do 2 of the man makers, then 2 of the toe touches, 4, 4, 6, 6, 8, 8. You get the idea. Now, do not worry if you don't finish Annie first. What we're trying to do is improve on what we did on Monday. And if you're only joining us today, don't worry, just see how far you get.
Yeah, again, it's good. It's a really good benchmark test.
Yeah.
Obviously, it requires quite a lot of abdominal endurance, and obviously endurance for your penguins. It's quite a low skill activity, so it doesn't require much skill. It's just abdominal strength and endurance, really.
So let's just quickly recap Annie. So it is a penguin, which is this, into abdominal curls. So 50.
Notice today, we're using an ab mat, so some of you may have these at home.
Hands touch behind the head, through to the shoelaces. That is a full repetition. Don't worry, work to your own range. If you can't get to shoelaces, it's absolutely fine. Just stay consistent throughout your rounds.
And these ab mats are quite handy tools, really. What they basically do is they allow us to utilise the natural curve in your spine. So it gives you an anchor point. So I'm never actually compromising my spine and flexing too much.
Right.
Good piece of equipment.
Let's get going, guys. Grab your kit quickly. Let's set the clock for 10 minutes. So note your time down when you finish Annie before you start your ladder. and we're ready to go.
I'm starting the 50 sound time.
50 repetitions to start with. Is that on? 10-second countdown. Go for it, guys. Let's try and beat that score from Monday. So it's a nice two-footed jump with the tap. So we want to stay nice and compact. We don't want to be moving around too much when we're doing our penguins because it's good practice for when we incorporate a rope. So Dave is trying to stay in the same area. You doing all 50? He's going for all 50. How many sit-ups are you doing?
Don't mind.
Don't mind either.
How about whole round each?
Okay. All round each. So again, like we said, if you can't do the full range of motion, that's absolutely fine. Go to where you can go to, but then try and keep that consistency with each rep, just to try and keep a standard. How are you feeling?
Good.
Not too sore after this
Nope.
week? Good.
Different story at round 30, I'm sure.
So 50 and 40 are always the hardest two parts of Annie. So once you get past that, it does get a little bit easier mentally, not necessarily physically. How are you doing?
I lost count a minute ago.
Oh dear.
I'm 40 now, I think. Can't
So-
talk and count.
Me and David are sharing the reps as always. So I'm going to go to the round of 40. Okay.
Probably 60, I think I'm 50. So Anna's starting her round. So Helen said a moment ago, try and stay on the spot where we try and get our guys to pop a cross on the floor and try and stay on that cross on the floor. Again, it just makes things more efficient when you start doing things like singles and doubles. So Anna's into the round of 40. Again, most of you probably get this unbroken. So we meant to break it up into 2 sets of 20, or whatever rep scheme you fancy. So steady work. We're utilising the arms and throwing those arms forwards. Once we touch the ground overhead, again, every rep must be preceded with a touch of the toes or the shoelaces on your shoes. Some of you might decide to do a butterfly style. That's the soles of the feet together. To do that, we're aiming to get the hands touch the floor, so the palm of your hands. So count a couple breaths out loud. How are we doing?
29,
Okay.
30, then left.
So I'm going to move around the side of the stage. We have some more penguins.
Eight, 9, 40. Whew. So Dave is into the round of 30. Doing really, really well, guys. Just keep going. 3 minutes in. Just find a pace. Now, the penguins are going to be faster than the abdominal curls, the sit-ups. So try and do them as quickly as possible to give you a little bit more time on the sit-ups. How are you doing?
13.
Well done. Okay, we're coming up to 4 minutes, so we've still got 6 minutes. So you're doing really well.
$20.
Oh, 10 to go. Then we're into our round of 20.
$8,
4,
9, and that's 30. So the end's in sight now for us, team. This means we have to do more man makers. So around 20 for Anna. So no matter where you are in the workout, the objective is to get as close to that finish as we can in 10 minutes. If you finish early, you get a bonus workout. You're amongst the elite. Test your fitness properly. Something extra. It's ascend ladder in reps of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And keep going up and up and up and up until the clock beeps.
19.
Man makers.
20. So last 10 for David. He's going to finish it off. 10 sit-ups to finish. And I'll catch our time.
6:15 last time, I think.
Okay. On track then to beat it.
And time.
Well done. Right, so we're moving in to the ladder. If you haven't finished, Annie, keep going, guys. You're doing brilliantly. Do not give up.
So we're going to start our man makers. It's a row and a row. Then something we call a cluster, which is a squat clean thruster. So it's 2 man makers, 2 toe taps.
So into round 4. So we're adding on 2 every time. So it's the row into the cluster. So clean into a press. That will take some time. The toe touches are definitely the faster move. Now, at any point, if that's too difficult, you can just come down to your knees. If being on your toes is a little bit too much for you, that is absolutely fine. Seven minutes on the clock now. 3 minutes left. Just keep going. So on 6.
So steady work throughout, team. Try and find a tempo. Whether you're on your Annie workout or on the bonus workout. Just over 2 minutes remaining. So the objective was to try and match or better your time from Monday. Now to move slightly more efficiently, despite the fact you might be more fatigued.
That's 6. I'm losing count.
Again, notice that Anna's doing front support to toe tap. So butt goes up and down on each rep. Doesn't keep the butt up and just do a pike toe tap.
That's 6. So we're on 8. 2 minutes to go.
And 8 minutes on the clock, isn't it?
Yep. So, remember at any time, if you need to come down a scale, absolutely fine. Or if you don't want to use weight, take the weight away. We just want to keep moving for the whole 10 minutes. Now, this movement is quite complex. It does take a lot of energy. So you might have to take some rest between your reps. That's absolutely fine. Okay, coming up to 1 minute 10, David. How are we doing?
So 7.
So you on 10 or 6? No, 8.
8.
You're on 8, yes.
Afraid you're going to finish up.
Well done. It's 8 toe touches, and then we'll be into round 10. So again, if this is too hard, you can just scale down to touching your knees. Oh, 30 seconds. I'm going to be back in.
You are in. 25 seconds, team. Push hard now if you want Annie. See if we can finish that workout up. If you're on the bonus workout, squeeze those extra few reps. Ten seconds. And that is time, team. You get a high five.
Well done, guys.
You guys get virtual high fives. So it'd be really nice if you guys can send us some of your scores so we can then compare it against
absolutely.
what we know as our Annie benchmarks. Because again, there's probably millions of people worldwide that have done Annie. Obviously the full thing doing double unders and sit-ups. But again, it's a good comparative measurement for you guys to see how you do with penguins.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this was a tough workout. So you have done so well. You should be so proud of yourself. You've worked really hard this week.
It's been a tough week this week.
We're definitely upping the skill level for you and also starting to increase the intensity as we work week on week because we've got 2 weeks left, haven't we?
I think it's 2 weeks, yes.
Right, should we cool down?
Have a little cool down, I'll zero that clock. So it's obviously been a lot of abdominals, so we're going to start off with that cobra again.
Yes.
Then we'll go to the cobra into a scorpion. So we get a nice stretch of the abs. So I'll start on the elbows, pushing those hips into the floor. Hopefully nobody got cramp on today's workout. I have had cramp in Annie a few times. Once we're happy with the elbows down, if you feel you can come up to your elbows, up onto your hands, up onto the hands.
So I'm going to stay here because I can really feel this stretch enough here. So stay with me if you want to, but if you want to do more, then you can go with David if you need a bit more intensity in that stretch.
Now we can lie down. I'm just going to hold that scorpion this time.
Which way are we
so
going
arms
first?
that side, if you come towards me.
Yeah.
I'm going to push through my hand and try and bring that foot up as close to my other hand as I can, the back hand. Again, you should feel that again in your abdominals, in your hips, in this straight arm. For me, it's my left arm. Let's switch back to the sides. Again, 45 seconds to a minute's worth of stretching. Chance to bring that heart rate down. A bit of active recovery.
Oh, that's good.
So we spent a lot of time on that front support today. So again, your chest and shoulders were a little bit tired. I think we're going to go with the hands behind the back. So my back of my hand is on my lower back. Open my chest up. Definitely feel that stretching today. So if you are practicing your pull to handstands, or pull to headstands even, not handstands, that's another level up again. So again, make sure you do that in a safe place.
Yes.
Ideally have someone there as a spotter to make sure you're not going to topple over.
Hands in front.
Yep, that's a good plan. Give yourself a hug. Hug that barrel, hug that tree. It's like Mother Teresa yesterday. Spread the love, whatever she said. I've forgotten what the quote was again. Share the love, spread the love. Make someone happy.
That was really good.
Well done, team.
You've done amazing this week, and we hope that you have learnt something and can have a few things to go away and practice. Like most things, 5 days isn't really enough to really see a massive improvement, but what it will do is maybe make you a bit more aware of some of the things that you need to do in your normal day training, so you can take these skills away and keep practicing them over.
All we say to our guys at the gym at CrossFit Cirencester, as soon as you walk in the door, you're immediately an athlete. That's why we keep referring to you guys as athletes, because you can, no matter what level you're at, there's still something to aspire towards, whether it just means to climb the stairs that again and breath, or whether to go for that Olympic gold medal.
Skills, yeah, high skill stuff.
So really well done today, team. Again, keep supporting the Barn Theatre. Tell your friends all about disco fitness and the other great stuff that's going on here at the Barn Theatre every single day. And we look forward to catching up with you next week.
Yeah, have a great weekend, and we will see you for a brand new week next week with a new skill.
Thank you, team.
Bye, guys.